no, wait. Yeah, we can't play that. Yeah, never mind. All right, here. Try this instead. Hello. I'm not sweaty because I was rocking out and kicking things. That's not what happened. That's not what happened right there just now. I was sweaty because I was watching Cops. Yeah, that's what was going on. Yeah, I'm sweaty because I was watching Cops. Yes, I did Sonic. Yeah, no problem, John. It's all good. All good, man. Trying to give Calvin his dues, dude. He's been streaming for a while, man, you know? Streamers helping streamers. Still coughing. Still coughing. Oh. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Yes. Oh, that's nice. That's a very nice picture. I coughed for like 2 weeks after COVID went away. It was very annoying. Yeah. Yeah. Dimitri got removed from Roscosmos. And it benefits me too. No ads. Yeah, sure. No problem. That's all good, man. No problem. But I don't think that Dimitri got fired from what I've been reading. I don't think he got fired. I think he got requisitioned for the special operation or something. Yeah. Yeah. Apparently there's somewhat of a logistical problem somewhere in southwestern Russia, somewhere. Not gonna say where. It's yeah. I'm not gonna pay it too much mind, guys, because I kind of lost a lot of respect for that guy over the course of the last 6 months. So this is a lesson on you know, your time and how you should manage it. Don't give your time to people that you don't care about. Pretty straightforward. Let's play Kerbal. That's the end. That's the end of the lesson there. I want to play some KSP. I want to get that dual crane working. I want to see if that's possible. I want to see if we can get that done. I'm gonna make a prototype for a crane system, and I just want to see what it does. So let me get the tunage on, and we will go from there. Forgive me for being late today, guys. So how this day started is that I needed to get some errands done this morning, right? And I went and got the errands done, but so like my city has, the part of the city that I live in has like a main road. And the way that this was set up, like 400 or 500 years ago or whatever, whenever this road decided to become a thing, is that's pretty much the only road if you want to get to certain destinations. And my bank is, so like I live on one side of the city near that road, and the bank that I use is on the other side of the city on that same road. It's about about a 3 mile difference, give or take. It took me 45 minutes to go there and back because they decided to do road work where the other road that goes north-south more or less decides to intersect. Yeah, so like the main intersection in the part of the city that I live in, yep, road construction. 4-lane boulevard down to 2 lanes. So 45 minutes to go 3 miles and back. So I ended up being a little bit late for the stream, and then when I got home, because I was a little bit late, I didn't get time to answer the emails that I usually answer, and yeah. So, yeah, sorry, time got away from me today. I do apologize. I've been trying to be on time for streams. That was a rule, that was my New Year's resolution. Be on time for freaking streams. Manage your time better. And I've been trying to do that as best as I can. And I really don't like it when time gets away from me like that, but that's what happens. So, I apologize. Sorry for being late. I don't like being late. It's a bad habit to get into. Believe me, I know. Christian, who's that? I don't know who. The circus? Alright, so we wanted to experiment with messing with a dual crane system. Yeah, it's the circus. Cirque des Cosmos. It's French or something, I don't know. Probably not. You should have biked it. Who am I kidding? That's a death wish. Scrivy, that's exactly right. It is a death wish. Dude, I was, there's this... Alright, I don't mean to turn this into EJ whining about traffic, but there's this intersection. It's not the intersection where the construction happens. It's another one, right? With a kind of a main road, right? And because the buildings are older and the road was widened, the building is like right on the edge of the intersection, right? That's just standard city stuff, right? So I'm pulling up, right? And it's a four-way stop because, sure. So I get to I'm rolling up to the stop sign, and some guy comes flying around the corner, right? And so the way the guy turned the corner, he's literally like head on at me, rolling to the stop. And I'm in the Mustang, so I downshift and jam on the brakes. I'm like, "Arr!" Right? And this guy just, oh, I'm in the wrong lane. Here, let me go around. Just, "Arr!" And like, I'm like, "Arr!" And right when I stop, the guy's like going by me, and he's just, and I'm looking, I'm like, what the f are you doing? I roll down the window. I don't care. I roll down the window. What are you doing? Just, oh God, he's so mad at me, and just kept going. I'm like, all right, okay. That's how my day is going to be today. Yep. I usually keep my cool on the road. This guy just turns right at, he's coming right at me. Like, it was 10 feet before the guy turned. It was really close. And I'm like, "Arr!" I stepped on the Mustang, downshift, the Mustang stalls, and I'm like, "Arr!" I'm like, oh man. And I was like, what the hell? And the guy just ignored me. Just straight ignored me, kept driving. Like nothing happened. I'm like, alright. No, Frill, not really. I keep my cool on the road. You gotta keep calm when you drive, especially around here. Because people do stuff like that. But, like, this was just so blatantly dumb. Like, this guy just turned the corner, definitely wasn't paying attention. Turned the corner and just happened to turn the corner right into my lane. Like, I don't even know how you do that from the right lane at a 90... That can be just chalked up to blatantly not paying attention. Like, texting on your phone or whatever, like, oh dear. And if you guys scroll up in the chat, if it's still there, that's like, I got to the four-way stop and then I got to my destination, right? So that's when I got in the parking lot. I'm like, guys, I'm gonna be late. I'm gonna be late today. I can see it coming. Like, I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, you know, like, dude, you know, I hear people throw around like, oh, there's just NPCs. People are just on autopilot. They're just, you know, like, and that's probably right. They're probably not thinking about driving, right? Because can't be bothered with driving this, like, 1.5 ton metal box around, whatever. Fine. It's fine. Right? So, like, I don't want to be like, you know, oh, everybody's an NPC, because that's such a douche thing to say. Like, oh, I'm smarter than everybody. Yeah, okay, yeah. You know what? You know who we call people that do that? We call them Karens. All right, you have a god complex. So I try not to do that. But straight up, this straight up reminded me of like an NPC encounter in Fallout or something. Like that, it straight up reminded me of that. Like, I'm like, I don't even know what to. I was like, what are you doing? Like, just nothing. No acknowledgement that you almost just drove your car, like, directly into me. No, oh my gosh. Just, like, completely ignored. I'm like, what? Am I going crazy? No temps are posted for Starlink 422 in the SLS SRV test. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, screwy. Yeah, I don't know, man. People are on autopilot, dude. Yeah, hip. It's especially apparent around here. People forgot how to drive, dude. Either that or they just can't be bothered with obeying traffic laws or something because they're too busy. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, brother. Yeah, hypersonic, literally NPC moment. I can't describe it any better. And I don't like describing people as NPCs. That's not right. I'm gonna say hello to the fourth planet soon, if you know what I mean. Nice. Panther, what do you want? Curb link and stock KSP. Oh, nice. People in Calgary never good to begin with. Yeah, but Christian, we've looked at Calgary, man. How can you not drive it? It's grids. It's all grids. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. This is all grids. How do you mess this up? Well, that's not right there. But how do you mess this up? It's just grids. How is that possible? Christian, you've seen what I have to deal with. Look. How do you mess that up? Look what I have to deal with. Look at these roads. What? There is zero coherency. Well, just make the road turn left. Screw it. Oh, this hill? Yeah, just go around it. Whatever. 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 You want to see something near my house? You want to see something? Here. Look at this. All right, where's Maps Bike? Here we go. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This is near my house. Look, check this out. All right, so, just road, right? Look. Count the traffic lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There is 7 intersections within a quarter mile of each other. Look at this. There's another one down there. What do you do with this? What am I supposed to do with this? Can't. Frick it. Let's get to work. It's because those are horse paths. It's true. I can rant about urban design all day. This makes me want to play cities. We'll play cities next week, I think. It worked in the 1700s. Yeah, I know. So, check this out, guys. Here's what we worked on yesterday. We worked on the MLV, and we spent a lot of time doing more theory crafting and figuring out some stuff. Essentially what I've... Essentially what we've come up with is, it's an interesting idea, and I'm frankly not sure why I've never done this before. I kind of am not sure if there's a reason why I've never done this before, or if I've just never actually tried to do this correctly. So we came up with the idea, after looking through a bunch of different ways that rockets have been integrated in the past, of doing a dual crane system. Now, don't get me wrong, I've done dual crane systems in the past. I did it with Condor, but I didn't understand vessel hierarchy, and we didn't have hybrid tech to make it work right. So I think we could get this to work right. So what I'm going to try to do is something like this. Here's kind of a cross-section of the VAB. No, I'm not necessarily... Okay. I gotta go get a cough drop here in a second. If you look at this cross-section of the VAB, I'm not making a VAB exactly, but it has a big crane up high and a small crane down low. And I say down low, and that crane's like 150 feet up in the air. Saturn V is about 100 meters here in this design. The VAB is 150 meters tall. I'm not making it to this scale. We're not going that big. But it's very interesting having a left-right gantry crane that's high up for integration, and then a forward and back gantry crane that is designed to pick the rocket up. So you could pick it up, and then you could turn it, and then you could put it on the pad. That's kind of what I'm going to try to do. I swear I'm not doing that on purpose. You know what's annoying? It's not even like, you know when you're sick and you cough stuff up? You cough stuff up and, you know, you cough because you're trying to like hawk up mucus and stuff, right? Like I don't mean to get like graphic here, right? You're trying to clear your throat. That's what coughing is about. You clear your throat, you get all the gunk out of there. The gunk has been out of there for like a week and a half, and now we're just like dry fire coughing all day. It sucks. It's really annoying. It sucks. Let me go get a cough drop. Hey Natalie, 21-month resub. Thank you. I'll be right back. Just excuse me for 1 second. Okay. Yeah, EVX, I've seen Seattle. Yeah. I can't decide who has it worse. Us, you or us. I can't decide. They're both pretty bad. Okay. Why not quadruple cranes? I don't need quadruple cranes. Do we need that? Okay. Alright, so. It'll go away in a second. It'll go away in a second. Got a bunch of inflamed tissue in there causing the coughing. It sucks. Me and the other half are pretty sure we got COVID back in December 2019 when it first started showing up here. The lingering cough was so incredibly frustrating. Especially since I gotta talk all day, dude. It's so annoying, dude. Anyway. 2 cranes. A 2 crane design. So, I'm trying to think how we were gonna get that done. I want to make like a prototype for this thing. But I'm not sure how we're going to do it. I was just coughing so hard a second ago when I got up. I was coughing so hard I gave myself a headache. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Is the main crane going to translate the rocket too? Here. I'm trying to see if we can find, here. Kind of like this. Watch. So there's a big crane up there. See the crane up there? You can just see it at the top of the screen. And then there's the lower crane, 165. And then there's the one that's up at 500, right? This is what I want to attempt to do. And then I want to lift up the stage just like we did with Freedom and then move it onto the pad just like that. That's pretty awesome. How heavy is an SLS core stage? It's pretty heavy. I'm not 100% sure. It's pretty heavy. It's like a space shuttle and an external tank kind of built into one. For real, if I had to just give a rough estimate, 150 tons, easy. How to control two cranes at once? Well, Hip, the key is that the two cranes are connected. I have the two cranes as one vehicle. That's the key to this. If I make them one vehicle, and don't get me wrong, it's something that I explored with Condor, but because I didn't understand how vessel hierarchy works, that crane ended up not working exactly right. But now that I know a little bit more about how stuff goes together, I mean, Condor was like 2016 at this point, 2017, 2018, something like that. I think I can get this done, and I think we can get it done for not a lot of parts. I thought double docking was bad. Yeah, if the cranes are part of the same vehicle, then it's not really a big deal. Yeah, we did a lot of planning yesterday. There's High Bay 4 over here. High Bay 3 is right here. What do you mean? Condor was like 2 years ago. The last time I worked on Condor was 2 years ago, Hip, when I fixed the pad. But yeah, this is what I want to do. I don't want to build like exactly a VAB. We're not going to build that. I don't have the part count to do that. But I think I can get it done with two gantry cranes. The thing is how am I going to get that done? How am I going to make two cranes that do this? Hey RT, what's going on? Happy Bastille Day. Ew, I know it was yesterday. I know. Yeah, we gotta do that. Yeah, see? That's what we gotta do. It's more specifically this part. Here. Hang on, RT. There you go. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Hey, don't worry. Don't worry, it's good. It's good. Don't worry, I got you. I got you. So, this is what I want to try doing. No, Fashion. I don't give time to people that I don't care about. Alright, how the frick are we gonna do this? Alright, so I think I have an idea. Alright, so rocket research. Let's go down to the shuttle here. I need... Where are those pictures of Slick 6? I need that. How did Slick 6 do it? So they had one gantry crane in the... They have one gantry crane in the building that says USAF. And then I think the other one is in the mobile service tower, right? Yep. Yeah, it's up there. It's up there in the MST. See right here? See this? See that wall? Those are two different buildings. With Slick 6, both the buildings slide. Now, that might work for what we're trying to do here, but... Okay. I'm trying to think. Hello. I'm trying to think what would be the... Oh, there he is. Hey, Urban. Giving me a hose? Thanks, buddy. I saw a shuttle. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out a good way to put stuff together. I want to do a 2-crane system for integration, and I'm just... Yeah, see? This might be the right move. My name is Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
My name is Jeff. Yeah, that might work, but that has fixed service structure on the side. Yeah, JM, I agree. I really like getting into how this stuff is made. I think it's really, really interesting. Yeah, see, we gotta build something like this. It would have been nice seeing a shuttle launch from this. Any reason why you like the 2-crane system for this? Yeah, Tipsy. The main reason why I want to do a 2-crane system is because it makes the integration vehicle simple. I don't have to build something crazy like that. Yeah, the integration vehicles can just be a cart with some wheels. Because think about it. The problem that we were trying to solve yesterday is literally doing this with the booster. So, I was trying to think about what does a booster... What do we do with a booster? So, the booster starts horizontally, right? And then we roll it to the pad. And we take it vertical like that. Right? And then MLV will launch... It'll come down, it'll land. Now what? Okay, there's two options for a landed booster. The first option is just pick it up vertically, move it back to the pad, put it back on the pad, launch it again. Right? That's the idea. That makes it so the vehicle that does that is just a small little vehicle that all it needs is just 4 hydraulics on it that lift up the hold down points on the MLV so we can fold the legs up and then docks to it, holds it in place, and then we go. Simple as that, right? Very, very easy piece of equipment to make. Now, that leaves the other solution where we want to take the booster and bring it horizontal. So, if I want to take the booster and bring it back down horizontal, I take the transport vehicle, move it over to my 2-crane system, because cranes don't take up a lot of parts. Our Kraken cranes with very early primitive hybrid tech are like, I don't know, 20 parts at best. So building another crane is another 20 parts. So if I have another crane and it's another 20 parts to make that crane work, that is less parts than what is needed for like a vehicle like the TDRV, for instance. Because what I used to do is just land the booster, and then I used to send out this really long truck that would grab the booster, fold its legs up, take it horizontal. It was basically a transporter erector. It looked like a Scud launcher, right? And that thing was like 200, 250, 300 parts. Why spend 250, 300 parts on doing that when I can spend 20 and literally do the exact same thing? That's the idea here. Understand? Tipsy, that was a good question. Fred! Yes. We're calling the vertical transport vehicle Fred Arrow. That's happening. That was the conclusion that I came to. Our gantry cranes in game are not. They're not very many parts. That 2 of these things is like 40 parts, 50 parts total, and that's enough to be able to take the booster and bring it horizontal from horizontal to vertical. Why the heck would I not do this, right? That's the way that makes the most sense. Literally, it's gonna sound strange. It's gonna sound ridiculous, but quite literally building that is going to be the least amount of parts and the most efficient way to turn rockets around quickly. Which is weird. But it feeds into a theory that I have. The theory that I have is, you know, we see the VAB and you see the crawler and you see the crawler moving out and you're like, oh, that's super slow. The crawler transporter takes forever. But the theory that I have is that the VAB was designed to do work. A lot of work. I've read a lot of books about it. If you want a book that is really good to read about how the VAB works and why it was designed to go fast, this book right here by Jonathan Ward, that picture is actually from this book. It's called Rocket Ranch. A viewer recommended this book to me. This will tell you all about the GSE from the Apollo program. It's super freaking useful. So I have a theory that the VAB was really designed to turn rockets around really, really fast. Not necessarily designed for like reuse or anything, right? But it was designed to build rockets quickly. I mean, why would they need 4 integration bays if it wasn't, right? Like, that doesn't make any sense. You don't build 4 bays unless you intend to launch a lot of rockets. So I'm pretty sure that this thing was designed to launch a rocket like maybe once a week, this whole system. And the space shuttle launching 9 times in 1985, it doesn't necessarily mean that it was supposed to, you know, like, oh, it was supposed to launch in a week. That's not necessarily the case. But the space shuttle launching 9 times shows that the VAB with 2 high bays can support one launch a month, right? So if you had all 4 high bays, you're firing on all 4 cylinders here, right? With this system, that tells me that they could get up to, well, I mean, okay, do the math. The shuttle was going to be launched 24 times in 1986, but they never did that because Challenger. It was going to launch 24 times. So that means 2 high bays can support 24 launches. Think about that for a second. 2 high bays can support 24 launches. That's 1 launch every 2 weeks. 4 high bays can support 1 launch a week. That's what they wanted to do with the VAB. That's where the Apollo program was trying to go to, and it's really annoying. And yeah, don't get pissed off. It happened 50 years ago. It happened. Whatever. It's fine. But that's what they wanted to do with this thing. Are there doors on the other side of the VAB? Oh yeah, yeah there are. There's 4 high bays, and they were all configured for Saturn V. And then they only reconfigured 2 of them when they replaced it with the shuttle. So I got these pictures from a Twitter user named Greg Autry, who posts really awesome pictures from the Apollo program. What can you tell me about this picture? So first of all, the reason why I saved this picture is because these pictures have something that I never noticed. Okay, so what did I never notice? Well, I never noticed that High Bay 4 had a crawlerway coming out of it. Never knew that. I never knew that until I saw this picture. I always thought High Bay 4 was for storage because they never used it. They only used it to store things. And then during the shuttle program, they used it to store external tanks. Yeah. You want to hear something nuts? Another thing I learned is that during the shuttle program, when they were storing external tanks, they wouldn't store the external tanks horizontally. They stored them vertically. There's like 4 or 5 hangars inside of High Bay 4 where you could just put external tanks. Like they were on the walls, like gun rack style, which is just, alright, okay. You ever read any Space Alt histories? Yeah, of course. And High Bay, this is High Bay 2 right here. High Bay 2 was used for a lot of missions. It was used for, obviously, Skylab, right? And it was also used for Apollo 10, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah. Oh. So, it's kind of crazy what this thing can do. What the VAB is designed to do. It's nuts. And when they built it, they block bought mobile launchers, and it turns out it was cheaper. Go figure. Their internal construction was kind of like an egg. Strong one way, weak another way. What do you mean? Those tanks weren't stable horizontally. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Shimoda, yes. You're absolutely right. They're not really designed... They were designed to be manufactured horizontally, but they really don't work structurally unless you put them vertical because it was designed to launch on a rocket. Exactly. I can't find a lot of pictures of... I can't find a lot of pictures of it, but there's, like, hangars. Like, when I say hangars for external tanks inside a High Bay 4... I mean, like, not like a hangar like an airplane hangar. Like, think a closet with a bunch of coat hangers on it. But swap out, like, your favorite pair of pants with external tanks. They hang them in there, which it's weird, man. Like, it's the weirdest thing to see. I've only seen, like, 1 or 2 pictures of it. But yeah, that's where they stored them. They stored them in High Bay 4. So... my whole theory is that this whole system, the Apollo system, was designed to launch a lot. It makes sense when you think, you know, time is of the essence, so they had to put together a lot of launches relatively quick, right? So it does make sense that they would want to launch a lot. But, oh, man. They incubate them in the High Bay. Yep, that's right. Yeah, sure, Toma. Let me give you perm. Let me give you link perms. Dude. I know that SLS is out on the pad and stuff, but I want to do big stuff again. I want to do big stuff. I mean, we're getting there with Starship and SLS. Like, I get it, but man. Saturn V had a mobile service structure here. This structure was used to install the pyrotechnics in the flight termination system. What's that, Tuma? What do you got for me? SA-1 pad operations. Alright, so we gotta figure out a way to do it. But actually, Toma, this might be useful. Hold on 1 second. Can I just see where this is from? I don't want to... if somebody owns this public domain stuff, they can DMCA the stream. This is coming from Mark Gray. History of aerospace on video. I don't know if this is a good idea. Here, I'll scrub through it. We'll just scrub through it real quick. Yep, see? Twin cranes. See what I'm talking about? Actually, they were using 1 bridge crane with the Saturn, but we gotta see how the cart for the Saturn 1 is just literally, it's just a cart with some wheels. That's it. That's what I'm talking about, dude. We gotta build stuff like this. Keep the integration vehicle simple, because it's not hard to make a crane. That's not a big deal. Cranes are really easy to make in KSP nowadays. Yep, there it is. And then they take it vertical, and then they pick it up. That's what we got to do, right there. Yep, that's what we need to do. Yep. So Toma, I've been looking at a bunch of different designs here. So there's the twin gantries that go perpendicular like this in the VAB, and then there's a bunch of other different designs here. I think twin gantries is probably the right way to go. So in the VAB, they have gantries that go left, right, and gantries that go forward and back, right? That's in the VAB. The reason why I wanted to pick up Slick 6 here, and I wanted to look at the shuttle pictures and look at Slick 6, is because Slick 6 has 2 gantry cranes in line on 2 different buildings. So yeah, see right there? There's one gantry crane on Slick 6's mobile service tower, and then there's another gantry crane on the integration building. But it's crazy. The shuttle pad out at Vandenberg, Slick 6 has... They built the shuttle right on the pad. See, there's the first gantry crane on the kind of upside-down L-shaped building, right? And then there's the other building right there. That's the integration building. These buildings move. The MST and the building with the flag and USAF on it can move. And they kind of close in on each other. And then it makes a VAB with two cranes in line that can pick stuff up and put it down. Pick stuff up, and then right after that they put it right back down. This might work. This could work. But once again, how this is going to need to work is if we do this right, these two vehicles, so if we make that one vehicle and that one vehicle, they're going to need to dock to each other over the pad, right? They need to dock. And if we're going to do a 2-crane system, yeah, the pad was later used for Delta 4, by the way. If we're going to use a 2-crane system, the cranes have to be able to dock to each other. So I'm not sure. Slick 6 might end up being a little bit too complicated. Yeah, Jeff, docking the 2 cranes together is not going to be that big of a deal, especially with vessel hierarchy. But I do need to make it so the cranes do end up docking to each other. Come on, man. I got a cough drop. Start coughing. Come on. A shuttle never actually launched out of Vandenberg, right? No. The first mission was supposed to happen in mid-1986. The mission was planned. And a little bit after early 1986, the NASA was going to hand over Discovery to the Air Force. Discovery was supposed to be the Air Force's dedicated shuttle. And Bob Crippen, the guy that flew STS-1, was supposed to be the commander of the first mission out of Vandenberg, which was STS-62A. Dude, you want to hear something absolutely nutsoid? Here's what they wanted to do with the shuttle. And a lot of people say the shuttle got too big and bulky because the Air Force got involved, right? And you're not wrong. Here's why the shuttle has crazy cross-range capability. They were going to launch out of Vandenberg on a sun-synchronous flight azimuth. So Slick 6 is right there. So STS-62A would go down here like this, right? It would fly down here. It was going to fly over the coast of Africa like that. Antarctica, excuse me. Over the coast of Antarctica, over the South Pole, right? And then it would have come back up. It would have come back up over here, going, let me clear the lines, going in this direction, right? Because if you do one orbit around, Earth is spinning underneath you, right? And then there's precession. So it would have came out over here somewhere. Shuttle would have gone through re-entry off the coast of Washington and Oregon over here. And then what it was designed to do, and this is literally the reason why the shuttle has its wings. Why it has crazy cross-range capability. It was supposed to do a turn pretty much like this. Actually, it was more like this. Not like this. It was more like that, coming in. The shuttle's supposed to do that during re-entry. Take a huge left-hand turn going like Mach 20. And if you look, there's the pad right there. If you look at how the runway is placed at Vandenberg, it almost perfectly lines up with that. That's probably why they chose to do that here. But the runway at Vandenberg goes in the perfect direction to receive the shuttle after an orbit. These missions were called polar orbit once around missions. So the shuttle would have deployed like a spy satellite. It would have flown down here, deployed a spy satellite over the South Pole. So over here, open up the payload bay doors, dump the satellite, close the payload bay doors, right? Come back over, come back down and land. A one orbit mission. So the mission would have taken about 90 minutes to deploy the satellite, and the shuttle comes back down and lands. That is the mission they were going to run. It is... I'm not going to sit here and say that that's not nuts. That's pretty freaking crazy. That is a ballsy mission. Ballsy. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. But, once again, the shuttle was supposed to be more like an airplane. That's how they were going to treat it. They're going to treat it more like an airplane. So, I'm sure they would have figured it out eventually. Someone probably would have gotten hurt, though, if I have to guess. Like, probably would have happened. And land in the LA River, right? Get out. Get out. At what altitude? 500 kilometers. The Keel 9 satellites were launched on Titan 3Ds and Titan 34s and into fairly low orbits where the orbit would decay quickly and they would have to launch other ones. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The Air Force was even looking to adding engines to the bottom of the ET to boost the shuttle's payload capability. Yeah, they looked into it, but the aft cargo carrier is a much better solution, in my opinion, Talon. But yeah, that's what they wanted to do. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I didn't want to see that, but I also don't want to see people get hurt. But then again, yeah, only one shuttle stack was ever stacked at Vandenberg, and you're looking at it right here. It was stacked in late 1985, and it used Enterprise as the fitment test article. That is a real external tank, and those are real SRBs, but they're inert. They're inerted SRBs. They got no fuel in them. And Enterprise is obviously not a real shuttle. It's just the flight test article. But I will say, it does look nice. I really like Slick 6's design. Slick 6 here, let me see if I can find the cross-section picture of it. It's really, really not a bad way to do it. And honestly, this probably would have kept costs down with the shuttle instead of using like the VAB and whatnot. Where's the cross-section? These are all pictures from it. So... where's that cross-section picture of Slick 6 that I have? It should be in here somewhere. I'm looking for it. Give me a moment. No. Must be on the other end. Put skids on it and land in the water. Yeah. Yeah, no. Huh. It's not in here. She's not in there. Oh, there it was. I saw it at the last second. Where was that? I saw it. There it is. This one. Yeah, Space, we do. We got a bunch of great pictures. So, Slick 6, once again, had the mobile service tower and then the shuttle assembly building. And then it had a PCR that was on a payload changeout room that was on rails. So instead of the rotating service structure, like what they did at 39, they just had the payload changeout room move forward and backwards. And it goes through the shuttle assembly building, which is actually really cool. And then there's the payload integration building here. So they build the payloads in this building, and then it would go up this elevator right here. They'd put the checked out payload into the changeout room, and the changeout room has a clean room in it, and then it moves. It moves through the shuttle assembly building, and it moves up to the shuttle's payload bay doors, and it puts the payload in the shuttle, and then it backs off, and then the shuttle assembly building backs off, and then the mobile service tower backs off. The idea is that you're putting payload together that nobody can see, because spy satellite. This, building the shuttle directly on the pad instead of on the ML and then moving it probably would have been a much cheaper solution. Because this is a lot less infrastructure to keep track of than like the VAB and the crawlerway and the pads and whatnot. This is a cool idea. It's really smart. But yeah, I'm not sure if that's exactly what we need here. So let me get into it. Let's start building. Imagine if they'd built a Slick 6 style pad at 39C. Could have worked. Did they build the fairing onto of the payload, or do they just open it and out the payload inside, then close it? So Hypercode, the shuttle, when the payload changeout room would move towards the shuttle stack, the shuttle can open its doors, open the payload bay doors inside of that payload changeout room. I have a picture of that, but it's not the PCR. It's the this is the rotating service structure at 39A. So they would move the payload changeout room up to the shuttle, and the shuttle can open up its doors into the payload changeout room, and the payload changeout room, the shuttle doors opening up would seal the payload changeout room, and then they could put payloads in. There's a gantry crane sitting inside of the PCR that could put payloads inside of the shuttle. So there's doors on the outside of the payload changeout room, and then the shuttle door, and then there's the shuttle doors. So they would open up the doors of the PCR, go up to the shuttle, close the doors against the sides of the shuttle, and then the shuttle could open its payload bay doors inside of the payload changeout room. It's actually really cool, really smart. Yeah. So there's the payload changeout room in real life. This is just this picture of the pad from the same exact angle. This whole thing from, see where those red struts right there? This whole thing from here forward moves. It's really cool. It's like an office building on wheels. It's pretty insane pieces of tech here. That one snuck into my shuttle collection, but it's all right. We'll keep it here. It's fine. There's Challenger. I like that. Camera. It's pretty sweet. I'm trying to see if I can find another picture of the RSS for you. Dude, I have so many freaking... That one snuck in here. There's the payload changeout room. See? So, interesting thing. The shuttle, when it needed a vertically integrated payload, they'd put these orange bars on it. See that? This is the outer edge of the payload changeout room. That's the doors that like open into the shuttle. They're not really doors. They're just kind of they just have kind of like a foam edge on the side, so it would go up to the shuttle. See these doors right here? If you notice, those doors have a bracket right there and a bracket right there. They bolt into that thing. They bolt into these orange pieces here. And then the doors of the payload changeout room bolt to the shuttle, and then they open up. And that allows the shuttle payload bay doors to be open down here because they're attached to a much stronger door. See what I'm talking about? And they would seal it up against the shuttle, and then whoop. Yeah, kind of hypercode, yeah. See, Atlantis has those same bars on them. That's a different concept. But yeah, we need to figure out those cranes, dude. I could talk to you guys about that all day, so let's go. So let's load up the pad craft file here. Actually, what we should do is test it. How are we gonna test this? How are we gonna test this out? I'm thinking. So we have the pad and we have the gantry crane here for the pad. I'm thinking, dudes. I'm thinking how we're gonna do this. I love the look of the SRV drop test vehicle. Which one was that, Moto? EJ ignored my reference. Why, hello. Oh. Yeah, you want to learn the secrets of the Matrix. You could probably take the same gantry and use it for the lower one. Yeah, but we'd have to make it a lot longer than this, Papa Bear. That's the thing. It has to be... First of all, this bridge crane has to be able to move a docking port down here, so when the first stage gets up here. And then the second bridge crane has to be able to have articulation that's as long as the first bridge crane. Huh. Okay, give me a second to think about this. "26 meters, the up." That's right. The crane has to have has to have a movement of about 26 meters. That's how long the stage is. It doesn't have to be exactly, but that's pretty much where we need to be. So here, let me measure it then. So that's 3 meter. 6. That's 12. That's 24. These I-beams are, the I-beams are 3 meters long. Okay, you know what? That's not too bad. That ain't bad at all. Are you able to copy the current gantry and edit it or make a new one? This is the current gantry edited. This was the one that I was using, only I replaced... I modified it for the height of the MLV and then some, and then I replaced the kickback boosters with Clydesdales because this is 5 kickbacks tall but it's 3 Clydesdales tall for the same height. So I rebuilt the crane with parts where you need 3 vertical instead of 5, and then instead of a 4-pillar gantry crane, I'm using a 2-pillar because the Clydesdales are really strong because it's a big freaking... They don't bend because it's a big piece of metal, right? So, I mean, take the gantry that's there and copy-paste it onto the same craft file. Oh, yeah, we could do that. That's the easy part, dude. that's the easy part. I'm wondering, like, that's the amount of movement we need. That's 24 meters. What if... What if we did something like this? What if we made the crane like that? What if I put the gantry crane off the side? And then we can have a gantry crane that it could be sideways like this. See what I'm talking about? And then if we have guide rails that go left right, if I build the gantry crane off of this, basically gives me a transfer aisle. Hey PY, what's going on, man? The top crane only basically needs to go out maybe to like right here. Will you use wheels to raise the crane? That's the idea, Hyper. Yep. Yep, that's the plan. We can use wheels to raise the crane and then move it. If I built another gantry crane right here... Huh. Inline makes this easier. So instead of this, it would be better if we did this in line like that. Kind of like Slick 6, but not. Hey, Bilko. So the booster would come in here horizontally like this. I would attach the front of the booster to the high crane, and then we'd attach the back of the booster to the low crane. We'd pick it up off of its cart. Here, I'll get a tank out here for visualization. So the booster comes in here like this. Front of it gets attached to the high crane. Back of it gets attached to the low crane. Right? We lift it up. And then the high crane pulls up, and then the low crane goes this way. So the idea is that the booster will do something like this. Right? And then we detach the low crane, which would be right here. And then this thing can just pick it up. It goes through the rails and then places it onto the pad. Is there any secret to launching Retrogun in KSP? My rocket keeps slipping. No. Yeah. And we could just pull parts off of this. Like you said, Pop Bear, that was the easy part. You gotta pull parts off of that, and then, yeah, that should work. Should work, I don't see why it wouldn't. And then if I keep the rails on the sides of the crane, we can pull the booster up between the rails. That would work. You can rotate parts in increments using a key. Yeah. If you hit angle snap, and then, yeah, you can hold left shift. Left shift rotates in 5-degree increments. If you just move it, it rotates in 15-degree increments. I guess I need to regulate my fuel flow better. Keep the center of mass low on your rocket. Low? Wait, why do you want low? Low? No. You don't want low. Your center of mass should be forward. Center of mass goes first, Panta. Yeah, you don't want that. Yeah, that's it's gonna be a big building. Damn. Okay. I mean, yeah, we got rid of a lot of parts on the crane, so man. Yeah, yeah. Fair, yeah, that's basically what we're gonna do, dude. Yeah. I'm gonna cover the bottom with wings just like I did with the other gantry crane. It's basically just gonna be a skeleton. But since we're using Clydesdales now, instead of the kickbacks, we have a little bit of part count to work with. So this building is gonna look ridiculous, and it's gonna look ridiculous moving a building like this. Why is the part count limited? Because performance? It's not limited. I could make a freaking 6,000 part vehicle if I really wanted to. It would just... the frames, you would get a terrible simulation rate. Nice, Contra. That's cool. I know what I need to do. Wait, why am I like, I don't know. I'm trying to think, because right now I'm like, oh man, it's gonna be weird. Sorry. Should we... We're gonna have this big, ridiculous gantry, and then we're gonna have this tiny little wimpy freaking launch pedestal. But the launch pedestal is strong. And I do need to make the fixed service structure for it. We gotta build a tower for it so crew can get in. I mean, the whole thing is at 295 parts right now, which actually isn't too bad. That's not bad at all. But we're on a scale here that's way bigger. I'm getting analysis paralysis. Screw it. Let's just build it. Okay. What is the maximum part count you don't want to exceed? For the pad, I really don't want to go over 500 parts. For the pad and the crane. The pad and the crane are going to be two separate vehicles. But, yeah. Huh. Getting a little bit of design paralysis today. The reason why I'm like, oh, this is what we need to do. But I'm like, oh no, we gotta fix something. Like, I feel like I'm forgetting something here. This seems too easy. You know what I mean? That's interesting. I could do it. Crack rain. Yeah, that's right, Flatgate. That's not a bad way of doing that. Have the two vehicles kind of close up against each other. That's not bad. Okay. Okay, got an idea. Instead of making it all one vehicle, we could have a high crane and a low crane. And I'm thinking docking the cranes together and then using them in tandem could be a really good idea. That could be really smart. Because, dude, I honestly don't want a freaking... I don't want a freaking gantry crane that looks like a freaking elephant. Like, it'll be really hard to move it. And if one thing goes wrong with it, then we have to replace the whole stupid thing. Like, I don't want to do that. So, the gantries move in this design, ideas. Precisely. Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah, I gotta design the rail system for them and stuff too. But yeah, we'll get to it. And then I gotta design the center rail system as well. Is there a part count maximum? Hip, for the whole shebang-a-bang, like a fully integrated rocket on the pad with payload, with the crew access arm and everything, and all the gantry cranes and everything in scene, I really don't want to go over like 700-800 parts total, like for everything in scene. That's when the game starts. That's with this computer. That's when the game starts really. That's when the game starts slowing down a lot. This is basically what you did for Freedom, only it was a truck instead of a second crane. Very basically, Contra, but no, this is a little bit different. It's the same idea, but it's not exactly similar because before I just pulled it off of a vehicle. Now I want the two crane system. The two crane system, dude, will make this easier. The reason why it'll make it easier is because I can take rockets vertically and take rockets horizontally. We could take them and put them in the storage, put them back on the storage cart, or we could take them and put them back on the pad. And that's why I kind of want a separate crane. Because say a rocket lands and I land one in the circle right here, and then I take a vertical transport vehicle, we lift it up, we drive it back over here. I don't need this other crane. Also, the other crane's going to get in the way. Think about it. If we're moving boosters vertically here, and I have a gantry crane, We have another gantry crane right here that goes out like this, right? Unless we don't put any crossbars or anything, the rocket is too tall. It's going to get in the way. I didn't even... See, so like making two cranes, a two-crane setup would be better. See what I'm talking about? One crane that's, you know, that goes here, that can move out of the way if I want to put the rocket back in, and then we just pick the rocket up and put it back down, right? And then if I want to take a booster and bring it horizontally to put it away for storage, or if I'm bringing a new booster in, the other crane... See, dude, that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff. I mean, that crane won't see much use, to be honest. Couldn't you use one side for the gantry crane and one for vertical? What? What does that mean? I'm confused. Slightly more part count than one crane, but why not just make the second crane same height as the first? Talon, the cranes have to be able to attach to each other. The only way the two crane system works is if the two cranes are one vehicle and they attach to the rocket. So, because any other way we're going to get a snap dock and it'll blow up. Guaranteed. Well, you said the gantry crane would get in the way of the other boosters. You have two sides to the path, one for gantry, one for... I need this side for a crew access arm and a vehicle stabilizer. There needs to be a fixed service structure here. For what I'm thinking. Let me show you. It's supposed to look like... Where is it? Where's that picture? That. Yeah, no problem, Midas. That's why I told you. It's all good. It is a nice picture. Yeah. One apartment, a house hop. Mercs, about 2 weeks from now, we start to move. I'm going to be moving throughout all of August, guys. I think Brimo and I were talking about it yesterday. The plan probably... So for the first week of August, fellas, I'm probably just going to do space news. Just space news for about 4 hours, and that's it. It'll be the first 40-hour work week that I've worked in a decade. Yeah, crazy. I know. And actually, I don't even think we're going to get to 40 hours. 5 times 4 is 20-hour work week, right? So the idea is that in the mornings and into the afternoon, we're going to start moving things. I'm going to move stuff with the truck. Then I'm going to come home, and then I'm going to do space news from like 4 to 8. And then basically I'm going to stop at 8 o'clock. No racing, no nothing like that first week of August. And then the second week of August, I'm taking off. I'm going to probably take off the entire second week of August. So, like, from the 7th to the 13th, that's when we're going to move the big stuff. I'm going to move small stuff in the first week. And then, hopefully, by... we go back to resuming the regular streaming schedule probably on the 15th of August, something like that. And then I'll just, maybe 15th through 19th, I'm probably going to end up doing, like, just space news again so we can move stuff in, paint stuff that needs to be painted, etc., etc. I got a lot of work to do. Yeah. And then, hopefully, by the 22nd, I have the entire studio and everything set up. I'm going to need some time to get the streaming garage studio thing figured out. It's going to take some time. I have to make sure. I'm pretty damn sure this is already a thing, but I gotta be positive that we have power. I have to make sure that I can get like the garage doesn't have heating or AC, but it is insulated. So I gotta figure that out. We gotta figure some HVAC stuff out, and I gotta figure out how to get internet out into the garage because there's no internet there. I'm not streaming on Wi-Fi. You're absolutely nuts. So I gotta get a hard line out there. There's a lot of logistical things that I have to do. At this point, I'm like just waiting to do all this stuff. I'm like, I hate just sitting here doing nothing. Like, but then again, we can't really move just yet. So if I was there, I'd help. I know. So yeah, the entire month of August is gonna be a weird week for this stream. I can't guarantee like game streams. Like, I don't think I'm gonna play Kerbal at all in August. I'd be very surprised if we did. Yeah. Yeah, JM, right? I promise, though, I'll show you the garage as soon as we can. I know you guys are jonesing to see it. What if Starship launches during those weeks? Starship and SLS are most likely going to launch in August as well, obviously, because why not? Yeah, I'll be around for the rockets. Vremo and I had basically an idea, like, initially what we're going to do. I'm going to take this streaming setup and just put it in the house where there's internet, so if there is a rocket launch, we can cover it. Yeah, that's just going to be temporary, though, until I get the big studio set up. If you have the apartment through August, well, you could try to get it all set up before we move the streaming rig. I wish it was that easy, Shaw. My internet service provider won't let us have internet at 2 locations on the same account. Like if we uninstall the internet from the service from this apartment, right? They won't do overlapping service. They would have to charge us twice because of course they would have to charge us twice, you know. Billionaires got to make their money, right? No, ISP's got to ISP things, right? Like I have to uninstall the internet here, and then they can't uninstall internet here and install internet at the other place in the same day, which is stupid, but it is what it is. So it's not that simple. If I could do overlapping internet, that would be excellent, but yeah, we can't. Yeah, Wrecker, that's what I mean about getting errands done. That's why I was late today. So I have to go there and I have to figure stuff out. Live view to fill the gap. I shipped the live view back to DOS, Kralani. Yeah, we used it at Spaceport America. When you're done, disconnect the other. Oh, yeah, you guys just got all the answers, huh? At your new place, do you have multiple ISP providers? Yeah, of course. So, yeah, like I said, the stream's gonna get wonky through August, but I'll be here for Space News, fellas. Even if I have to do Space News from my phone, like I'll do it. Yeah, we can do that. I'll do it sitting in my garage. Yeah. Use a real long cable for the internet. Gym style, Twitter live, yeah. Yeah. Oh, man, now I'm thinking about it. I totally lost my train of thought from what we were doing in KSP. Just plug it into the phone line. Yeah. Oh, now I'm thinking about moving. Damn it. Damn it, why you guys gotta go and do that? Oh, Paul, why you gotta go make me feel bad? We have a new mission control. What the heck's going on here? Oh, nothing. I'm just thinking about, moving and stuff. Huh. Cranes, focus on the cranes!
Discovery.
Hey, Urbanus, thanks for the 5 subs. Yeah. No, this is why, like, I always power through and I always finish what I'm working on, because sometimes, like, sometimes I'll just lose my train of thought, dude. It's been a weird day for me already. I'm freaking, like, today, you know? I'm not nervous. No, we were talking about moving, and now I'm thinking about all the logistics of moving instead of thinking about the logistics of my space program in Kerbal. Yeah, we were doing that. Let me take a look.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Yep, LVOS right there. We gotta do something like that. Maybe we should just use the A-frame. I don't know. Yeah. Yep, dude. Maybe we should just do that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, Jeff. Has it? I must have missed that. Red card. Actually, this way might not be a... Huh. Simple and effective. Don't overthink the small stuff. Yeah, that... Come on, man. Snap out of it. Now I'm thinking about how I gotta fix the truck and everything. I gotta finish fixing the 97. Oh, dear. Oh. What's the name of the movie with Melvin saying it's military, definitely military? That's War Games, dude. War Games, 1983. It's a great movie. Really ahead of its time. Waves from Florida. Hey, Clayton. Yeah, Merkers. The front hubs. I checked the brakes. The brakes ain't leaking, but the front hubs have stains on them, and they're getting hot. They were doing that towards the end of Route 154. So, Mercs, what does that mean? You know what that means. Hubs are getting hot, and you're seeing stains on the outside of the hub. Bearings. The front wheel bearings are pretty much gone. They got a little bit of life left in them. Because I jacked the truck up last weekend. If you spin the tire, it doesn't just keep going forever. There is a little bit of friction in there, which means that they got a little bit of life left, but not much. I thought you were going to make some sort of movable pad because there needs to be 2 for both rockets. Ryan, I actually decided against that. I decided against it because Yeah, the size of the launch vehicle is going to make it's gonna mean I'm gonna need a little bit of a different pad. You know what I'm saying? Just adjust the surrounding thermometers. Repacking them would give them a little bit more life, Hellfish, but not a lot more. I need new wheel bearings up front. That's my project over this next weekend. Yeah, that's my project. I gotta go find wheel bearings. And then I still gotta figure out the fuel hose stuff. I gotta put the trailer hitch on. Yeah. I think that's it. I gotta do bearings. I gotta do both hubs. Both hubs are getting hot. The rear hubs are fine because, you know, of course they are. Because as long as we have gear oil, it should be lubricated. I just had my right tire arm fixed. It was ready to fall off. And so I got to do both the hubs, left and right. That's not too bad. That's pretty easy to do. So I gotta get new bearings. I gotta do fuel lines. I gotta do the trailer hitch. And then I think that might be everything. I think that's all of it. You want a K truck, Kuro? Yeah. I feel like I'm forgetting something, Hellfish. The brakes are brand new. I knew that already, but the pads got miles of material, which is, yeah, when I looked at the hub, I'm like, huh. So it seems like whoever had the truck before Hoonigan put new tires and new brakes on it, which, yeah, that actually saved me a lot of money. Oh yeah, Flatgate, there is the paint. I gotta sand that down and paint it, but that might be a after I move thing to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind moving in Tough Enough the way it's painted in the Route 154 paint scheme. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever touched a brake pad after a hard stop? You could probably cook breakfast on those. Friction generates heat, man. Yeah. You fix the hydraulic clutch leak. Hellfish, I think I just ran out of fluid. I don't think there's a leak. Every time I drive the truck, I've been driving the truck pretty much every weekend. I check the fluid in the clutch slave cylinder, and it hasn't gone down. I honestly think I got lucky. And I think that we just ran out of fluid. The fluid is hydroscopic. It's just brake fluid. It's just .3. It's hydroscopic, so it will. So brake fluid on cars, guys, hydroscopic means that it absorbs water, and the brake fluid will absorb and combine with water. And then if it gets hot and then cold and then hot and then cold, like, oh, I don't know, if you live someplace where the sun goes down and comes up, it'll evaporate the brake fluid. That's why you got to check the brake fluid on your car. It's hydroscopic. It will go away. And Hellfish, I honestly think that's just what happened. I think that's what happened, man. I think it just cooked it off because I've checked that brake fluid. Every time I drive the truck, I open the hood because I keep the battery unplugged, right? Plug the battery in, check the clutch fluid. It hasn't gone down. And So when I put the cylinder back in, the clutch slave cylinder, or the clutch master, not the slave cylinder, I didn't touch the slave cylinder. When I put the clutch master in, I used a vacuum pump to bleed the line. I haven't had any problems with it since. Yeah, Merkers. Yeah. Hellfish, I'm going to go ahead and guess that clutch cylinder was never changed, and we just ran out of fluid. Air, it's too much fluid evaporated out, air got into the line, and that was the end of that. Because once again, I've been driving this thing around. Clutch fluid hasn't gone anywhere. It's still there. It's not gone down, it's not gone up. It's still the same amount in that cylinder every time. I marked it with a grease pen. just to be sure. That's probably not a good idea to do, but whatever. Yeah, it's very weird. Haven't had any problems with it since. So either the leak is super slow or just nobody checked the fluid. I'll be honest with you, I didn't check the fluid. I did not check the fluid when we left California. I didn't check it. I probably should have. That probably would have been a good idea. But I would have done more checks on Tough Enough, and I would have probably caught the problem that ended up causing the wheel to fall off. I probably would have caught it if I'd done more, but I threw my back out the day we were in the junkyard, and I couldn't do anything. I had to sit there and watch Ernok do all of it.